How long are they in that mall kind of enjoying domestic bliss?
I feel like by going by the calendar, I'm gonna say it was like 3 to 6 months after they cleared the place out.
Wow.
And then the boredom just hits.
Yep.
The boredom hits, and they realize that they're never gonna see another human being again when the TV shuts off. You know, and after Peter has to shoot Roger in the head, he's like, I'm gonna try not to come back. And then you see him open his eyes, and there is a weird struggle as Roger slowly. It's the slowest resurrection that you ever see. And I think that's honestly because he really was trying. The tiniest bit, that tiny bit of humanity that survives in all the zombies. I think it was really there. Oh my God, that's such an intense scene.
Wow. Man.
It's such an intense scene.
And then, so do you want to hear something random? They added, so there's a continuity error in the film, and they added in the zombie that grabs Flyboy by the leg. So then he can drop the jacket that's around someone's waist. So then when they run by again, it's not there. So they had to do reshoots to show why that person would have that continuity error inside the store. That's why there's one random zombie in that area.
I mean, that's so thoughtful, man. That's such a beautiful thing, So what are your favorite kills in this movie? Okay. The Savini kill at the end where he just takes the machete. And you can tell it's like they did a reverse shot of the machete getting buried in the guy's head. Oh, that one is amazing. That one is amazing. The guy who has the Tommy gun that just gets surrounded in the parking lot. Oh man. He takes a bad loss. Roger, the all-time, possibly the greatest scene in any zombie movie, the shooting of Roger in the head.
Oh man, and it explodes all over. Oh yeah, shooting him, and then also Flyboy. When he becomes that zombie, I mean, that's a brutal kill inside the elevator.
Ooh, man. Shot in the shoulder and then just chewed up. Oh, my God. He bleeds to death. Oh.
And then he comes back as, like, a rolled ankle zombie, which I kind of love.
I read somewhere, I think, that he actually dislocated his ankle to get it to look like that. Because if you look, his ankle is not cool, man. His foot is not cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it.
I don't know how you walk on that.
Yeah. You know how? Because Vicodin, and it's 78, so I'm assuming Quaaludes.
Not cocaine yet.
Cocaine yet.
Oh, the screwdriver zombie. He's the one that they added in. You know how they did that? So they had a screwdriver with a retractable head, and in that screwdriver there was a pump of blood. So when he stabbed it into the person, the thing retracted, and then the blood came out. And when they did the zombie who got his head cut off by the helicopter blades, the zombie, he put little levels on. And then there's a filament attached to it. So when it stepped off, Savini just kept pulling the rope, and he had someone run with it, and he pulled that off.
That is brilliant. Then, hey, you know who's another cool guy that doesn't get enough credit in this movie? Logical professor guy.
Oh yeah.
The big dude who's got the eye patch.
I love that. And all these people. Yeah. He's like, this is an issue of morality, and we don't know. He's like, no, they're dead. We need to kill them.
Yeah, word. I love it so much. This is not the Democrats and the Republicans. This is not a budget issue where you get more money than me. They need to be shot. Yep. We must be logical. It was so amazing. He's so creepy.
But he's right,
so creepy, and he's 100%. 100%.
I mean, these arguments that people are having, it's kind of pointless.
Exactly. Yeah. He's saying that, you brought me on this TV show to have some kind of McLaughlin group debate. And I'm telling you that if we do not kill the living dead quickly and burn their bodies, we are going to be overrun. So let's start feeding people to the living dead, first of all. And then let's nuke all the major cities, Chicago, LA, Miami. Let's just nuke them. And, people don't operate like that. Your scientists are supposed to... Logical. I'm sorry.
You see how that worked out on Day of the Dead, right? Everything just goes to absolute crap.
Everything has gone. Oh, my God, there's crocodiles in the streets. Ooh.
Also, in the beginning of the film, talking about, like, logical decisions, I thought it was really smart of Romero to start us off with just ultra-violence. It primes you for this movie, and if you can survive those 5 minutes, you can survive the rest of the film. Like, this is like when they blow up that head. So Savini stuffed a head full of hot dogs and pig guts and anything he could find at Crafty, and then he shot it and blew it up. And they got everybody together, like Ken Foray and like everyone. They're like, hey, Savini's going to blow up a head.
That's awesome.
So they just...
I like the hot dog aspect of it, because that probably looks and smells awful.
And then he just blew that thing up, and the shot.
Yeah.
So people were appalled at this. Again, so he appalled people at Night of the Living Dead, and then Dawn of the Dead, he just appalls people again, which I kind of love.
Well, in color. Yeah. This is the difference, you know? Because the nudity in the first movie is not duplicated in the second movie. They had the naked zombies.
Yep.
And then the Resident Evil video game, you get the naked zombies as a nod to George Romero, you know? So nudity, no problem. Eating people, problem. And that's the only time that's ever been applied in cinema. Everywhere else, it's reverse. You know, you can't show boobs on TV, but hey, that's fine. Shoot this guy in the face.
I think what zombies, would this much blood be allowed today? Because I know Tarantino with Kill Bill had to make the blood, he had to go in anime to show violent sequences, and then he had to do behind screen and in black and white. And he had to find different ways to let blood spill that. But in this one, I mean, just the opening sequence alone, you don't see that much in R-rated cinema nowadays, do you? Am I?
I mean, Deadpool was rated R, and that was comical.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be extremely violent, but we don't see anything like tearing off, biting into Roger's legs and arms. Yeah. That's very slow, and you can kind of see the meat tear.
I mean, the skin flaps. I think that's what it is. Just like you said, the sort of realism to it.
Because it's actual intestines and stuff. It's not human, but these are actual intestines. When they dig into a guy's right underneath his collar, his chest bone, and they rip him open, that motorcycle guy, they're pulling out actual intestines. Yep. Not his actual intestines, but the creature's intestines. And they got a stretch and a wiggle to them, man. You can't CGI that. It's gross. Still gross.
Do you want to hear something funny about so the guy Tazo is the sledge who got all those guts ripped out. So he had a fake stomach, and then he had the guts against his stomach. But he washed them as much as possible. So when the zombies are pulling them out, they're very clean-looking guts.
Yes, they are. They're super clean. And he ended up dying just like Rhodes in the next one. Rhodes had a big part in this one. Just as they're getting onto the helicopter, Rhodes is featured as a guy who's robbing their supplies. And then they're talking about, cigarettes, we should take a boat. We need cigarettes, because it's 1978 and we smoke everywhere.
Where are you guys going? I don't know, to an island.
We need cigarettes.
Yep.
They needed cigarettes more than they needed food, man.
Do we need a boat or cigarettes?
Can we get a boat made of cigarettes?
Oh my gosh. Someone would. I guarantee you, Norbert, that's been built before.
I don't doubt it. I know that you're a bit younger than me, so I don't know if you remember taking an airplane when people were allowed to smoke like everywhere.
Just the ashtrays in the plane.
So we're in a plane a mile above the earth, and this little curtain separating the smoking and non-smoking section is doing the job you think it is. Absolutely. And we're just all being poisoned for 6 hours. And it's whatever, because I'm lighting up a butt. It's flavor country. The sky.
I hope they got their cigarette, those guys, because they didn't. I love that talk between them. Like, are we going to have to shoot each other?
Seriously, the cigarettes were not a joke, man. You know, it's not. Thankfully, you don't have that addiction. But let me tell you something, man. I need a cigarette now.
When I met you, you had 4 cigarettes in your mouth,
and I was lighting a 5th.
Yep. You know what Austin Powers, when he lights the 5 cigarettes in his mouth and he throws them all into the fembots' mouths? You just keep the 5 in there.
All of them. It was kind of.
I hated talking to you when you had all those cigarettes in your mouth.
You're right, man. You're right. You know, I did not want to ruin your perfect physique and your incredible cheekbones with my smoke, and I'm sorry.
And as opposed to taking all 5 out at one time and exhaling, you would just take 1 out. So then you'd still have 4 in there.
That's right.
During class, you poor students.
You know, you got to smoke in front of the kids, man, because especially the men in the Korean army, they get incredibly discounted and or free packs of cigarettes from the Korean tobacco companies. So they come out fully hooked. They're ripped. They're shredded. You know, they got like 9-10 abs, but they smoke like a pack and a half a day. and they're ready to go.
I know I did notice a lot of smoking out there, but I don't really go out anymore, and like smoking's prohibited at a bunch of places.
Yeah, I've spoken to my students that have gone through the military training, and they come back smoking.
Really?
And they were like, oh yeah, these cigarettes that cost $2.50 in the convenience store are given to us for like $1 when it's an incredible drug dealer vibe. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I talked to a guy when I took my GRE, I stayed at this guy's house in Seoul named Bum Soo. And he had just gotten out of the military. And I was like, so what exactly did you do? And he didn't want to tell me a lot. He's like, I just kind of stood around and by the border. I was like, well, what if something happened? He's like, I had to run away from the border and get people.
Well,
so he said there was a lot of boredom. So I could see if you're just sitting around, you'd just be smoking cigarettes.
Well, I also think that they're sitting around smoking cigarettes because like in World War Z, the book, 25 million North Koreans just disappeared. Yeah, they were zombies. They were probably zombies underground. So you got to smoke those cigarettes because the cardio is not going to matter when 25 million zombies are coming at you.
I always wonder that if I knew a meteor is coming to Earth in a month, it's like, do I just drink all my whiskey? Do I enjoy life? Like, what do I? Do I just take every vice up?
This is what you get because here in the Dawn of the Dead, they're trapped in the mall. Okay, so in theory, they can live either A, the rest of their natural lives as long as they replenish supplies, or B, run out of supplies and then just eventually just, overdose on. They seem to have a lot of morphine lying around, because they keep Roger pretty high. So, it's 1 month. If it's a month, I stretch that whiskey out. Or I smash that whiskey on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, I just storm the liquor store and just 30-year-old single malt. I'm drinking that for the next 28 days. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Let's get that to happen.
Give the guy $10,000. Like, it's not going to matter.
That's right. And here's another question for you. Okay. Zombie apocalypse has come and gone, right?
Yeah.
The money. Whenever society comes back, we're going to use money. Right? You remember Dawn of the Dead? They go into the bank, they say, you never know. And they just raid the bank. Dude, do you just steal money? During the zombie apocalypse, we're not using currency, obviously. We're trading. But just in case, do you just steal money from every bank you come across? Just in case.
I don't know if I would do that first. I think I would get survival first, and then I would start pulling that together.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Exactly.
I got a question that's going to blow your mind. You're in a grocery store. You have one backpack. A mysterious voice comes up to you and says, Norbert, you have 15 minutes and zombies are going to start chasing you, right? 15 minutes.
Oh,
here's a backpack. Christ. You can you can either pack all your gear for 1 minute in this grocery store, or you can spend 5 minutes getting the gear you need. What would you take to put in that backpack?
We're in a grocery store, right?
Yeah. So, but also like, it has a drugstore and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. I am taking cheese, painkillers, water, beef jerky, teriyaki beef jerky, cilantro, because you got to put cilantro on stuff.
Your cheese.
And because I have that cilantro, now I'm taking avocados, I'm taking red onions, and I'm going to make a hell of a guac. I'm going to make a hell of a guac, man.
I mean, let me tell you. Stoneware.
We also need lemon. We also need lemon and lime.
Well, you have to have lemon with avocado.
Also cutlery. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Basically the ingredients for a beautiful crudité. I could gather those in 5 minutes. And water. You can't forget water.
So there's
and cheese.
There's bandages, there's gauze, there's antibiotics, water, protein bars, all that. I'd go grab an extra umbrella in the store.
Nice.
I'd get...
Oh, don't forget a towel, right?
Toilet paper. I'd take a roll.
Okay.
I mean, man, I'd be running past you miserable with everything practical. And then you'd just be sitting there going, hey, Mark, like eating a delicious cheese board.
Let me tell you something about cheese, man, okay? Cheese, it doesn't really go bad as quickly as you think. And my addiction to cheese is total. So I'm going to tell you, honestly, I'm the type of cat, when the cheese gets moldy, I just cut off the moldy part. Even though, it's still technically, because mold is a fungus type thing. So the roots have all the way reached in there. You should never eat moldy food by just cutting off the moldy parts. You got to throw the whole thing away. But I've eaten it because my digestive system's tough.
I never thought I'd ever hear someone. So I was expecting, gauze and painkillers and maybe some scissors as well.